Hello and welcome back. Another edition of Up and In, where I share my thoughts and opinions with all dynamics of youth sports, specifically baseball. But lately, the questions I've been receiving have been to all sports. And as a parent of two sons that played multiple sports and a former college coach, this is something I feel passionately about. So I decided to tackle these and welcome these types of questions. As always, my name is Walter Beede, baseball lifer here on YouTube. Been a head coach at the NCAA level, drafted out of high school. I have two sons that played college baseball, one of which was drafted in the first round and now plays Major League Baseball. And so my perspective is having two sons that played multiple sports. The question that came in today, and this is a great question coming in from Michigan, and I really appreciate, James, you sending this question. As a parent, how do I deal or how do I help my son deal with playing time issues or lack thereof? I think this is a wonderful question and topic that we as parents need to really dive deeper into. And I hope you stay with me here because I'm gonna kind of share a story with you at the end that I think is going to put some things in perspective. The number one thing is once we leave the ages of say 5 to 10 and we get into a more competitive environment, we have to teach our children that the coaches are in charge of playing time. Now, I know we're going to think about daddy ball and all that kind of thing, but as you get into high school and college and more competitive sports, I want you to understand that playing time is strictly determined by a coach or coaching staff, largely predicated on the practice habits, the work habits, the work ethic of the student athletes. And he, as a coach, wants to win and wants to put, those best players on the field at any given time. And so whether it's soccer or lacrosse or baseball, there are several rules with regard to some sports are not free substitution, especially as you get to the older ages, specifically to baseball. But I want you to understand it's going to be frustrating. It's disappointing. And I know it hurts as a parent because I've lived this with both my boys when you don't see them starting because their feelings are hurt. And so therefore we're going to hurt. And it's important not to be angry and kind of get that tense body language because then your children are going to see that. You as a parent should play little to no role when it gets to the competitive sport levels with regard to playing time. The coaches are going to make those determinations, and it's important for children and younger athletes as they get older to understand their roles within the team concept. I get it. We pay a lot of money. We want to get those children more playing time. We're paying a heck of a lot of money. We're spending a heck of a lot of time on weekends traveling and doing all the work associated. And it gets frustrating. It gets overwhelming. And then to top it off, when we show up after a 6-hour drive and we see our children on the bench, that's a frustrating thing to handle as a parent. I get that and I understand that. But what we have to understand is there's going to be an opportunity at some point in the game. When your son or daughter gets that opportunity, it's important for them to rise up to that occasion. It's important to understand that harder work may be necessary. Allow the student athletes to interact and ask the coaches, what can I do to become better as part of the team? How can I make my role, increase my role on the team? Those interactions allow your child to be more engaged and involved in their specific playing time opportunities. With baseball, oftentimes you have rosters, sometimes 12 players, 15, sometimes 20 as we get older. In college, 27-man rosters are traveling. Only 9 can be playing at any one given time. Football, it's 11 players. Soccer, I don't have any clue. Hockey and lacrosse, there's shifts that kind of come and go. But with baseball and softball, you can't just do free substitution. So it's important to understand your role and excel in your role within a team concept. Great story for this. 2014, my son played Vanderbilt University. And that year, they were thankful enough, they won the national championship in Omaha. They played against a very, very strong University of Virginia team. And in that World Series, the starting third baseman for Vanderbilt suddenly was no longer able to start, and a student athlete who had been, the parent had always been talking about, have to transfer, never going to get any opportunity, he's got to get out of here. Suddenly that student athlete, whose name was Tyler Campbell, stepped up, and one could argue that he ended up being the MVP of that College World Series. He hadn't played all year. Previous 60 some odd games between regular season, regional, and super regional, didn't play at all. And suddenly he's on the biggest stage on ESPN in the College World Series in front of 40,000 people. He stepped in and he really excelled. Why? He was ready for his opportunity. He took his practice habits seriously. He was engaged and involved every single day. It's important for us as parents to recognize that not all of sports is going to be wins and success and accolades and validation. Social media paints this image that every athlete has success. That's not true. There's challenges, there's obstacles, and there's hurdles. How we teach our children to be involved and aware and engaged in overcoming those obstacles and hurdles will help them in all aspects of life when they become spouses and parents and employees or business owners later on in life. I want to thank you for that question. And if you have a question, anything pertaining to youth sports, baseball, softball, I encourage you to send those in. Like the channel, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, spread the word, allow more people to kind of follow and listen in and learn. Join us every Thursday evening at 9 p.m. when we start talking with college coaches from around the country. We're also going to begin to, on this particular segment, we're going to have former professional players and college players in all sports share their stories as young athletes. Thank you for listening, and until next time, thank you.